What's up, y'all? I got some good news for you today. We got Manny Completo in the house. Manny just finished the sword program. He landed a 180K OTE role in tech sales and is about to change his life, his family's life forever. We've got him on here to talk a little bit about the journey. So, Manny, thanks for being here. First question I have for you is
Yeah.
where were you before you started the sword program, and where are you now?
Yeah. So before I started, I was in, what is it, job searching purgatory. I was hunting a role in tech. I had, you know, I would say some really good experience in sales, but I had not been in tech before. And so I was doing all the things that I knew to do, to try to land an interview, try to get in, and just kept up running against roadblocks. And every time I hit a roadblock, I did my best to get feedback. Like, what can I do better? What can I do next time? But I was also really having a hard time getting many at bats, right? So I would only get an interview in like these very very narrow circumstances, and I just realized like there's no way I'm going to be able to hit out the amount of applications, just like the spray and pray method. I literally just can't do it right now. So I had other responsibilities, other things going on, and so yeah, now after the sword program, I am in a role that is really honestly like my dream role. I am in a startup, and it's the company's called OnRamp. It's an AE role, so it's full cycle. I've been a part of a couple of other startups, not in tech, but that like environment is an environment that I love. So it was a dream, like total dream come true in terms of all the boxes checked. Financially perfect, the role is perfect, the company is perfect, like everything I want, and the potential is sky high. I honestly think there are people, who would do a lot to get this role. Let's put it that way. So I'm psyched.
What an absolute blessing. You put in the work, man. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but you did it. What was the biggest result we achieved together?
Boy, so all right, that's such a hard question. That's just like one thing, but I'm gonna say that, like for me, like the learning of how to find a job in tech and the skill set that I just built, even apart from the job. Like, yeah, I think that is probably achievement. Ironically, like achievement number two, because achievement number one is like now I know no matter what, like I can go and do that again. Like I can go, I know what to do, I know how to get the interviews, how to prepare for them really well, how to like just how to do it in a way that fits the industry. So I think for me, that's like forever, right? Regardless of like the role and how well I do, which I know I'm going to do really well, but like that to me is like the top result that we achieved is now I am like I just feel so comfortable going after these roles and like being in the space. I feel like I had the confidence I could do the jobs, but now I feel like I belong here. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's a skill
Yeah.
that does not leave you. And it's almost like once you learn how to do it, it becomes so easy. Once you learn the art, you learn the science, it's just
Yeah.
repeatable over and over again. So that's huge. What made you want to sign up for Sword initially?
Oh man. So yeah, good question. There were competitors. So I knew I was like reaching out to different people, different programs, other offerings. And I was like, all right, I was weighing my options. And so to me, to be completely honest, it was you, Jack. Like, I think you said, I will be there personally for you. I will be available to talk. And I just kind of saw, and you have a program that's built out and you have templates and all these things that are, you've built up a program, but there's also just like the personal touch side, which for me is really, really important. So to me, when when we talked it through and you were like, yeah, you're going to be in my Slack, I'm going to be there. I looked at some of the modules. To me, it was like a no brainer. I get one-on-one coaching like with the guy who's running it versus other programs or even like other individuals who might offer the coaching. It's a little bit more hands off. So, quick funny aside is that one, there's many, and I'm not knocking this person for doing it this way, but there's, one person who's like anonymous who does, similar coaching. And he was like, I take X amount in Ether only. So Ethereum. So I was like, all right. So I can either do this with somebody anonymously and just pay them via Ethereum or Jack. Those were my only two options. But uh, the fact that like you were putting your reputation on the line too, right? Like you're gonna help me personally through your network. There was just so much personalization built into the program, along with the program itself, that to me that made a huge difference.
Yeah, that other one sounds like a sketchy dark web
Yeah, it was sketchy. It
transaction,
was sketchy. It might work, but I was just like, I can't do it, man.
That's awesome. We did work a lot together one on one. This is more feedback for myself. What's your favorite part about my coaching style?
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I like your your positivity is infectious. Like never once did I feel like I got the slightest bit of like deflated from any of your feedback ever. Like even if internally I was kind of like, all right, I'm really disappointed. You were just like, boom, steady. Like no, we're going. All right, what's the next thing? Good, keep it up, keep it up. So that to me is really unique. I think that even sometimes coaches can I think it's good to empathize, and you did empathize with me. But like sometimes you can empathize in a way that gives the person you're coaching the sense of like, oh yeah, I guess this might really not work, or yeah, I guess this kind of sucks. But it was always like, yeah, if it sucks, oh well, you're just gonna keep going. So there was just this positivity throughout the whole thing. To me, that was huge, and I really appreciated that. And even if for you it was hard to always give me that, I appreciated it, and thank you for doing that because it made a big difference internally. I was like, all right, yeah, I was just feeding off of that the whole time.
It's easy because as a coach, why I love doing this is I see the potential in you, and it's just my job to help you see it and then help you go fulfill and realize that potential. So for me, it's like the most fun thing ever because I see the Manny that's at the end of this journey. When you came in as the Manny at the beginning, kind of unsure, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to work my tail off. That's all I need as a coach to bring you to the result. So, man, that's all you. That's awesome. What's something you learned in the program that you think would benefit others?
Wow. So wow. One thing. Yeah, there's so much there. I think I think one of the things was like the pattern interruption that I implemented during the program. So I kind of get really specific. So this isn't necessarily the specific thing that people need to do, but like one specific thing that we implemented was sending out direct videos to people that we were trying to get in touch with. And so that wasn't the only way that we pattern interrupted, but like when we started doing that, it was very clear that like it wasn't the norm. Like almost every time people were like, "Oh wow, thank you for doing that," or I got a call back. Somebody called me right away, or somebody would reach out back and like, "Thank you so much for doing that." And so I think the thing that, but if you had told me before the program, like, "Hey, we're going to be sending personalized videos like that are, you know, nonchalant, like, conversational, but also like somewhat formal, targeted to what the outcome is, whatever," I would have been like, "Oh, like is that really? That seems kind of it doesn't seem right. Like it doesn't seem like what the hiring manager is going to want." But the big overarching point is just like be willing to take risks and do things that you think that you're not even sure if they're going to work. So I think that's something that anybody, in the program or out of the program, if you're on the search, like be willing to try things and experiment things. Because I think that that was even something that that wasn't even necessarily in the program originally. I was like, we're going to do outreach, but that specific thing, we were like, let's try this. And we tried it and it was a killer. So yeah.
Yeah, we kind of stumbled into greatness on that one. And the reality is, there are so many people applying for jobs these days. The market is crazy competitive, right? If you go on LinkedIn and you see a posting, it's going to say over 100 applicants in like a day. But the other reality is, I'm the hiring manager. I sit behind this desk seeing these applications come in. Only 3 to 5% of the applicants are actually doing the job to get the job. And so, Manny, once you started doing that, started doing the full end to end multi threading, multi channel approach, I feel like the engagement just skyrocketed. And then you were able to not get rejected by a robot system looking at your resume, but actually get in front of the human and the human saying, no, I want to talk to you. Let's set this interview up. So
Yeah.
that's why we do follow that process, because we don't want you getting screened out by a robot who doesn't know you when you could
Yeah.
put your face and your words in front of a hiring manager and land an interview right away.
Yeah, that would be the second thing. Maybe if I could add one thing on there is like to obviously trust the process. It's like the Philadelphia 76ers, right? When they were rebuilding, that was their whole mantra, like trust the process. But that was something that we did a lot of, and I think would be good for anybody in the program to remember is like, yeah, that process actually works, and you basically just put your head down and go through it. And sometimes the result isn't what you want from like one specific application, but I was getting callbacks or appointments after getting screened out because either the recruiter doesn't really know everything. They have certain check boxes, but we're not trying to like really conform to that list anyways. We know that we have like the skill set, or if you're an applicant, if you're in the program, you've already sussed out like where you want to be and where you can go. So just like trust that and trust the process to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like stacking habits and stacking kind of this repeatable process over and over and over. And guess what? Guess what else we stack and we repeat over and over and over? Outbound sales. It's like the same methodology. It's a numbers game, and if you execute the numbers, the result will come. I mean, if Jesus says, if you make a tree good, the fruit will be good, right? So if we plant good trees, if we do things the right way, the fruit's gonna be good. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, last question I have for you. What would you tell someone who's on the fence about joining Sword? Whether it's the cost, the time commitment.
Get off the fence. Get off the fence. No, yeah, okay. If they're hesitant though, yeah, once I realized all of the learning, the content is all there, right? It's like top-notch content, like genuinely elite. Because I already saw some of what else is out there. So I'm telling anyone else who's on the fence, hey, look, you should go do due diligence for your own peace of mind. But like, I've looked at some of the content that's out there in other programs, other people, top quality content, and it's always improving, right? So Jack, like speaking to you, like Jack is not like this is it, this is what it's going to be. It's like always improving. You're always improving on the process. So you're going to get the top quality. You're going to get elite coaching. Like Jack was an incredible coach. I think one of the most important things is that like belief in the candidate and the belief in the person that you're coaching. And like you said, like seeing that potential. And I felt that, and it was contagious, and it gave me the confidence to go into places where like maybe to some people like I wouldn't belong, but I knew that I belonged there, and I was able to communicate that and truthfully like convey it to the other people, which is why I landed that role. So you're gonna get the elite content, you're gonna get the elite coaching, and the cost is like dwarfed by the opportunity. Like for me, the cost is now like inconsequential because I landed a role, which is, it's going to make me way more money. It doesn't even matter. It's like literally, what's it called? Ashtray change compared to where I'm going now for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. And I think, so to me, the value is insane. So yeah, I won't do this, but maybe a little asterisk here, Jack. Like I would pay you more if you asked me for more, I guess. But like I was, and when you're in a job search, I think everything feels like okay, you need to be conserving, but I would say like consider it an investment. The deal is, you guarantee results, right? So you guarantee results. So there's a reverse risk there as well. Like if you're committed to do the process, you don't actually have anything to lose. You're either going to land a role, or you won't. But that's not going to happen. So.
Absolutely. I know I said last question, but I wanted to ask you about how many hours a day did you devote to this process?
Wow. I probably most of my day, I would say, most of an 8-hour day for a few weeks. So maybe 6 to 8 hours. And then like as interviews started to pile in, like it became more of a preparing, which felt less like working the process and more like I don't know, preparation is just different than like doing all the outbound, right? So there was a little bit of like a cadence. So like on those weeks, it was there were weeks where I'm doing like hours of interviews, and I will also say the results were fast, like really fast. If you can cut this and put it back if you want into the other section, but like I forget what the average time for you to have people land a role is. But
27 days right now. Yeah.
Yeah, 27. But I mean, I had offers well before that. Like I had an offer well before that that I had to turn down because we had just amazing offers already in the pipeline that I felt confident we could land one of them. Um, so that high time commitment like was boom, 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 like quickly produce results. So I think
Yeah.
obviously some people are in different situations. You maybe can't give that much. Like whatever you can give, like fully commit to it, and that's it's just going to accelerate that ability to get that interview and get those opportunities in front of you.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. The time you put in is what you're going to get out. And it's going to
Yeah,
be that multiplier of how many hours you're able to put in a day. The program's built to flex with people that have day jobs that
yeah,
are gone 8 hours a day.
yeah.
And so if you can put in an hour or two a day, you're going to get the result. But I have a guy who is in a day job right now. He started the process, realized how fast he's getting results. So he's actually already put his 2 weeks in and he's like, I'm ready to go do a
Wow.
full dive because I know this is going to work based on the
Yep.
early fruit I'm seeing of an hour or two a day.
Wow. I think that's legitimate. Yeah, and so that might have not been like the answer for somebody who has like the dual thing. But just remember, like again, I literally had offers that I turned down because I was getting so much opportunity in front of me at that point so quickly that I was like, I have to wait. I have to see these other things through. And it was, I think, ultimately the right decision. So
Manny, you were the perfect player for me to coach because you were committed, you were devoted, you were consistent, you were excited, you showed up for everything. I don't work with a lot of people because I need them to have the fire in their eyes like you do. So I just want to say thank you for the work you put in this program. So glad you got the result. You had that
thanks,
first
man.
offer in 19 days. I did the math.
Oh
19
yeah,
days.
yeah.
That first offer came in and that includes like the initial 7 days of onboarding, like resume prep, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, 19 days and then
That's
33
nuts.
days in is ultimately when you accepted your offer
Yeah,
where you're going to go launch your career, man. So congratulations. I'm so excited for you, for your family, for your
thanks,
future.
man.
And I'm just really proud of you, Manny. Way to show up.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, for everything that you've taught me along the way. And if anyone, again, if you're on the fence, get off the fence. It hurts to be on the fence, anyways. Get off, go, start running.
Love it. Thank you, Manny.
All right, man. Thanks.